true ending is insufficient. Arcueid's here! Hi, I'm Arcueid, back with Tsukihime for one last go. Last time, after rushing to Arcueid's side, we found her at the school already locked in combat with Roa. Using her mystic eyes, she kept Shiki at a safe distance until Roa breached her defenses, striking her down. And released from her power, Shiki rushes to her side, where the two of them shared some sad and final words. Shiki defeats Roa handily. The difference in their mystic eyes and how they worked ended up being remarkably different, which worked to Shiki's advantage when he could barely move. Shield struck the final blow, and Shiki returned to his normal life. Arcueid is gone. We completed Arcueid's route and the default true ending, in which Shiki kept his promise, eternally waiting for someone who will never come. Arcueid actually did return, but only to give her final goodbye, a kind of sacrifice, since despite her revival, she can no longer resist her vampiric impulse. And final twist, that she actually drank human blood a long time ago, and that was when Roa truly came into being and stole part of her power. With Roa dead, she managed to survive what happened, but she's resolved not to give in to her impulse and refuses to drink Shiki's blood, because she loves him. Shiki doesn't care. He loves her. He just wants to be with her. But she's adamant. She's leaving. Forcing Shiki to accept this with no way to follow her, again, she disappears, leaving Shiki in a state where he experienced something he can never forget, regret and longing, and a future without her in it. But this is a visual novel, with many endings, and aside from one of the girls, each of them have two endings. I can't accept the ending we got. The true ending is insufficient, but after completing the route, we're allowed one final option towards the ending. Will this make up the difference whether Arcueid stays? Let's find out. We're going to skip the prologue, because we've read that where he has his flashback in the history of blood, and I think he saw his mom die or something. This was when he was getting his glasses from his teacher, because we get the whole flashback where he went to the hospital when he was 9 years old, 8 years ago from the present time. So, curious, go take a look. And we went and saw Shiel hammering stakes. It was our introduction to Shiel senpai. So we start heading back to the mansion. This seems different. Oh well, we picked this one and kind of go over the Tono family history. We arrive at the mansion, meet Hisui and everything. He has an interesting night where Nero interrupts his sleep by standing at the lamppost with his various animals making a big cacophony outside that everyone else mysteriously sleeps through. Wakes up in the morning, he goes to school, and then we sight Arcueid in town, and we go after her. And he murders her. We have to call it a bad dream, though, because remember, the fantasy is vampires. So he somehow manages to go home. We're pretending everything is totally fine. He gets his knife, and then Arcueid finds us at school. Then she comes after us. We start our little cooperation together. So, we're going to team up and we're going to fight this Nero guy. Obviously, we're not leaving her alone in the hotel. We have one of our initial flashbacks. I think this is when she stole our glasses. So, yeah, she's going to get them from us anyway, so here you go. Then we have the deal with Nero attacking the hotel. So we're going to go check out what's happening, because the closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm.
It's the last thing he'll expect.
We face Nero, and then we patch ourselves up because we survived, and we have to regroup. And obviously, we're going to help her out with this, because we're not going to try to run away. We're sticking with Arcueid the whole way through for her route. We face Nero again, we delay for a little bit more lore, and then we dash towards Nero. And we take him down together. It's all great. And we don't be circumspect at all. If we have the opportunity, we're just going to go ahead and kill him. No more waiting. So, we took down Nero. There was a big ol' fight. Shiki nearly died, but everything worked out. And then we have issues at home where they're like, hey, you've been disappearing for a couple of days. What's going on there? Can't explain, so we'll apologize, because we don't want Akihito to worry. And then we're trying to figure out what's going on with Arcueid, so we're going to go out looking for her. We didn't find her. We go back to the mansion eventually. We have our nightly visitation, and of course, it might be Arcueid. That is the form the succubus takes. And we skip ahead to the morning. Goes to school. I think this was talking with Shiel when she says we, like, stink like vampire. I thought we searched for Arcueid aimlessly, but according to the guide, we returned to the mansion. Interesting. Supposedly this is new.
It's quiet at the mansion gate. The time is 7 o'clock at night. Akiha should be back, probably having tea in the sitting room. I'm not sure what's going on, but I hear voices coming from the sitting room. It's almost time for dinner, so it's strange for people to be just talking at this time.
Okay, so we actually made a different choice before I started over on the guide, I guess. But this was an option to get more lore.
Kohaku-san should be in the kitchen, and I think a conversation between Hisui and Akiha would be out of character. Kohaku-san and Akiha are drinking tea, perhaps. Well, I guess that's most likely. First things first. I open the mansion's front door. Hisui is standing in the lobby. I'm a little late, but I'm back. Hisui silently greets me, devoid of any expression. She does not say her usual welcome back, and looks like she's in a bad mood. Did something happen? I might be imagining it, but you seem a little angry.
There is a guest for you, Shiki-sama. Oh, this is new. She has been waiting in the sitting room, so please hurry there.
A guest for me? Hisui nods. I wonder who. There isn't anyone who would come visit me. Oh, wait. I have this terrible, terrible feeling. Hisui, what kind of person is it?
A pretty woman with golden hair. Oh, are you kidding me? How did I miss this scene? I guess it's because I went looking for Arcueid and it turns out she was here? Oh, this is new. Okay, fun.
Hisui's response is straightforward. I wordlessly dash towards the sitting room. Too late.
Arcueid's in my house!
It seems the current state of affairs is already at a level I can't escape from.
Arcueid's here! And Akiha looks so upset. Oh, look at her. Oh! Oh, look at them! It's so nice! Welcome home, Nissan. Oh, you're finally back.
They both greet me in completely opposite manners. What is this? Arcueid and Akiha seem to be confronting each other. They are both sitting down calmly. But while Arcueid's calmness is natural, Akiha's calmness is from her hostility toward Arcueid. Akiha takes a look at me.
What's the matter, Nissan? You do not have to stand there. Please have a seat here.
I feel like I'll get stabbed if I go over there. I'm fine. Anyway, Akiha, this person is, well... how should I explain this? Akiha would not believe me if I say she's a classmate of mine, and telling her I met her in town would be like throwing oil on a fire.
Well, what is it?
That's, now that we're in this situation, I think it doesn't matter what I say, but I have to make a good excuse and get out of it. That's what I have to do, but why did Arcueid come here in the first place? Did she say why she came here? I point to Arcueid in a desperate suicide gamble.
Hmm?
She tilts her head, confused.
Isn't she one of your friends, Nissan? That is what she told me.
Well, yeah, you can say she's a friend.
I see. I really would like for her to be introduced to me. If she is your friend, Nissan, I can't push her out of our house.
Ah, well, Akiha-san. I start to stammer again. Then Arcueid, unable to sit quietly during our sibling conversation, joins in without my permission.
Please don't worry about it. I just came here to get Shiki, so we'll be on our way. Isn't that right, Shiki?
My whole world jolts. This is bad. If I let her keep talking, she'll lead me to an early grave. Laughing desperately, I run to Arcueid and grab her arm.
Hey, Shiki, what are you doing all of a sudden?
There's no time to listen to her complaints. I pull on her arm and dash out of the sitting room, leaving a stunned Akiha behind. Hisui is in the lobby. She looks at me with somewhat colder eyes than usual as I run with Arcueid.
Are you leaving, Shiki-sama?
Yeah, I'll be back late. I really am sorry, but can you leave the gate open?
Yes, as you wish.
I dash past Hisui's courteously bowing figure and escape the mansion.
Ow! Just what in the world were you thinking, taking me outside so quickly like that?
That's my line! What in the world were you thinking? Coming into my house like that is just insane! Are you trying to destroy my life, you idiot? I grit my teeth as I glare at Arcueid.
Idiot? Are you calling me an idiot? I could be wrong, but isn't that kind of normal behavior for Shiki?
I'm calling an idiot, so what else is there, idiot? If you want to argue, I'm listening.
Huh?
I'm completely infuriated. It's been a while since I've been this mad, and once I'm mad, I have to say everything I want to the person I'm mad at, no matter who it is.
Hey, I just came to see you. I didn't do anything to make you mad.
Wait, are you serious, Arcueid? You only came to see me?
I didn't even say anything weird. I didn't say anything to your sister about your eyes, or about me, or anything.
Of course. If you did, we wouldn't be talking like this. I would not have hesitated and thrown you out if you did.
I don't get it. Then why are you so mad?
That's because you don't ever think. Look, you already stand out just being here. I'll say it now, but you should realize that just by being here, you cause trouble. For the time being, I said it all. Getting it all out of my system calms me down, but obviously Arcueid isn't so calm. Looking like a cat, she stares at me ill-temperedly.
What? Saying things like that? What do you mean I stand out? Don't I look like any other human?
No, a beautiful woman always stand out. It doesn't have anything to do with being human. I answer directly. I answer so flatly that Arcueid understands flatly too. Well, I said too much. It was the first time that's happened to me, so I kind of panicked.
That's okay. It seems like I was the one to blame.
Arcueid nods meekly. I feel a little guilty because I think there's something more to it than that. In the first place, why did she come to my house? Anyway, why did you come over? Well, I wanted to talk to you too, so I guess it's a good thing.
Really? I was just wondering how you were doing, so I swung by to see you.
I see. Next time, please do so in a different place. And as stealthily as possible, too.
Which is why she comes by the school, I guess. And we missed the initial stages of their bickering. Whoopsie.
I'm worn out. Anyway, I want to have a serious talk. I want to talk about it somewhere else since I feel uneasy here, so is that okay?
Sure, but talk about what?
You'll see. There'll be less people around, so let's go more towards the middle of the park. Telling her to come on, I start walking. Tilting her head in curiosity, she follows me obediently.
Okay. So, other than that cute character moment that I missed the first time through, I believe this is when they start talking more about their game plan and stuff. And since this is after Nero's defeat, this is then going into that whole there's another vampire, etc., and wasn't it obvious I thought I told you sort of thing. And then they go hunting for the dead. You can kind of see the zombie guy in the back there. Oh. Get a title card. Interesting. How is this new?
Back then, the whole mansion was like a giant playground. The garden, a deep forest. The house, a tall castle. We played in our own little world, which would take days to explore. Every day was fun. No one thought about ever growing up, and we believed that days and nights would always be the same. It was just a childhood spent playing like puppies. We got along wonderfully, and were the best of playmates. Whenever I turned back, Akiha would be there, waving her hands and hiding shyly. Yes, always the same. At that time, the mansion was a giant playground.
This actually looks like a scene we saw before, so I wonder, did I accidentally click don't skip it? Or maybe there's some slight differences in the text, so the whole chapter is renewed just because of what we did earlier. Yeah, because he's talking about how his eyes are getting stronger, that ability. Hisui's not there. And I think he goes wandering the mansion because we get more Akiha and Kohaku. Oh, yeah. So they're a little bit more cold since Arcueid coming here last night has some very lasting repercussions. So Akiha's irritated. And Kohaku pretends she's unaffected. She may not be pretending, who knows. Kohaku is an odd duck. Either way, we're faced with this option that I think is the same as the walkthrough. So we smooth things over with a cheerful greeting. Why is it so different this time? This isn't fair. Good morning, I say to her in English. Great morning, isn't it, Akiha? Ha 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 ha! So he retreats to the dining room, and she stops him. Something to discuss. This is new. I have something to discuss with you before breakfast. Please, sit there on the sofa.
Got it. Please keep it as short as possible. I plop down on the sofa across from her. Kohaku-san brings me a teacup. Her smile seems to say,
Hang in there, okay?
and I'm able to gather up at least a little courage. I drink a mouthful of tea and meet her gaze. So, what do you want to talk about, Akiha?
That woman last night. Just what is she to you?
That was close. Akiha's normally so roundabout, but this time she asks straight on. I'm taken so much by surprise I almost sprayed tea everywhere.
Nissan, did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear.
Then please answer. That woman from last night. Just what is she to you, Nissan?
That is a troubling question. She's a friend. A person I agreed to help.
A friend so important you had to leave in the middle of the night? Yes, I don't intend to have to approve of all the relationships you have, but you are in school now, correct? The eldest son of the Tono family, going to places with some strange woman in the middle of the night. Please stop doing such shameless things. This makes it sound like Akiha's the one that reported us to that one teacher dude. Anyway, probably not.
As she speaks, her cheeks flush and she looks away. I see. Akiha thinks my relationship with Arcueid is like that.
And it is.
Wait, Akiha, there's really nothing between us.
Shush. Blasphemy, Shiki. Don't you dare say that again. I know you're not there in the relationship stages of this particular walkthrough just yet, but stop that.
I'm just helping her find something. After that, we won't even see each other again.
Not if I have anything to say about it. Oh, really? You certainly seem very close. That must be my imagination, right, Nissan?
Her gaze is cold. If I lie with something like, "That's not it," things will be much easier, but more than the fact that I don't want to lie to Akiha, I really don't want to say that we aren't close. That may not be your imagination, maybe.
Right. You were panicking like I've never seen you before. You were never serious about anything, and now you show all this emotion. Just what's gotten into you?
That's not it.
After he just said he wouldn't say something like that.
I was just totally caught off guard that she'd actually come here.
That woman calmly waited for you the whole time, Nissan.
She casts a sideways glare at me. She really seems convinced that Arcueid and I are dating.
And she's not wrong.
Look, Akiha, you're getting it completely wrong. In the first place, we first met by me killing her, but I swallow the rest of those words. It'll be too stupid to tell the truth. But I can't even think of a good excuse, and I can only stammer.
If you cannot answer, then let's change the question. You've been calling that woman her this whole time. What is her name?
Arcueid.
I see. So you did not meet at school. There are no foreign exchange students at your high school.
Like Akiha says, there's no one from overseas at my school. It's right, but why does she know that much?
So, Nissan, just where in the world did you meet a person like that?
In the city. Just a coincidence.
Oh, a coincidence. Then Arcueid must have talked to you.
No. I was the one who talked to her. Well, not quite talked, but I was the one that initiated our contact.
Why did you talk to her? I thought Arcueid-san was nothing to you. Or did you only intend it like that from the beginning?
Her questions are right on the mark. Step by step, she draws closer to my secret. Like a snake staring at a frog, she ignores all my excuses and is trying to drive me into a corner. I can now only use force to end this conversation. That's enough. I said she's nothing to me. Besides, whatever I do doesn't concern you. You don't have any right to complain about who I date anyway. I point at her directly. After giving an angered face, she stands up without a sound. That's odd. I thought she would yell back at me, but instead she appears very uncomfortable and looks away.
Even I didn't want to say this, but it's just, I get a bad feeling from her. If it was anyone else, I would just be resigned to it. But for you, to be ensnared by her, doesn't that make me just a big fool?
I don't know why, but she regretfully bites her lip as she says these words. That's why I'm saying she's nothing special. What's wrong, Akiha? You seem a little strange.
That's enough. Oh, good grief, girl, are you crying? Stop. Stop! You guys were raised as siblings! Find someone healthier for you! Oh, she goes to an all-girls school, doesn't she? There's other guys out there, I promise. If you want to do as you please, then feel free, Nissan.
Akiha storms noisily out the lobby. Huh? I don't understand anything at all.
Oh, Shiki-san, that was horrible of you.
Kohaku-san gives a disappointed sigh and starts walking after her.
Poor Akiha-sama. If you're going to bring your lover, please bring someone more normal. If you did that, Akiha-sama would have understood. So she'll totally understand if he starts dating Hisui or Kohaku, is that right?
Kohaku-san disappears towards the lobby after Akiha.
And then she shows up at our school, because that was the prior scene. So we go to the courtyard right away, and we talk with her about stuff, we head home, and we have to tell Hisui the truth, even though us having the key has absolutely no bearing on escaping the bandaged man. And we meet Arcueid later. We have our altercation with the bandaged man anyway. The key with Hisui does not matter at all, but Shiel saves us, so it's all good. We have our near-death experience. And as much as we wanted to push ourselves to see Arcueid, we have to do as Akiha says and stay in bed and stuff. Fortunately, Arcueid shows up and is like, hey, how dare you skip out on our promise after you said so many times? And we said, yep, can't be helped, let's go on a date, Arcueid. So we get ready, we go on our date. She asks this question at the gate about, what is this feeling? Obviously, it's because you hate me, right?
Loathing, unadulterated loathing.
Yeah, we all know what that is. So we go on our date together, we go to the movies, and have a grand old time. We keep the fun times rolling, and then we have our philosophical conversation in the sunlit classroom. Then we head to the park to keep our promise for the normal thing that we do all night anyway. She runs off after the little joke goes a little bit too far. We go looking in the commercial district to find her. And bad things happen in that alleyway, but we are not going to do something she doesn't want. So everything works out. And we obviously keep waiting on her, because what we do is wait on her. Again. And then Shield shows up and is kind of a jerk and stuff. We're still waiting on Arcueid in the park, so we keep waiting for her. So she shows up. We seem like we connect, but she runs off anyway. We go looking for Arcueid anyway. Doesn't work. And next time, we're in the hallway. We're attacked by Roa. Everything works out with Shiel and Akiha. And then we go to the final fight anyway. Arcueid dies. That's just part of the story. But we know she revives. And we remember this part. I think we also get another choice, and I'd like a little bit of context around it, so. Tsukihime, an epilogue. Shiki-sama, it is morning. Please wake up.
I hear a familiar voice.
Actually, we're gonna go ahead and skip ahead, because we know he wakes up, and he's like, hey, everything's gone back to normal, Hisui's here, everything's just kind of how it was. He's talking to the sky. He woke up in his room. Shiel brought him back. It's only been a week. There was the passageway at school. Nothing changed, though. Shiel's gone, and Arcueid's gone. Unfillable void. He thinks he can bear it. Someday wonders if he'll go crazy with those memories. He shuts his window. Okay, there isn't too much context around it. And weirdly enough, keeping the promise just takes us back to the true end. We'll see what happens. I don't like the sound of this option. I will never forget Arcueid. Well, it's true. Seems a little sad. We'll find out how it goes, though. I think it works out, though, supposedly, somehow. We'll find out.
I will never forget Arcueid. I start walking from the mansion atop the hill towards school. Like any other day, the morning is wrapped in tranquility. Autumn is almost over, and winter is close by. Perhaps when this vague season in between the heat of summer and the chill of winter changes, maybe this transparent feeling will also change. I see more figures of students in uniforms the closer I get to school. Today is Saturday, so most of them are smiling as they walk along the road. Once I pass this intersection, I'll reach the front gate. It will soon be a month since I came back to the Tono mansion. I've already become well used to this route by now. The traffic light turns red, and I stand in front of the crosswalk. Every time I stop here, I remember that one time. At this intersection, Arcueid was waiting for Tono Shiki back then, as she sat on the guardrail, just like she is doing now. Eh? I say without even thinking. Between the cars rushing by, a scene unfolds just like before. What? She's there, dressed in white with golden hair down to her shoulders, long, slender eyebrows over crimson eyes. Her figure I could never mistake for anyone else, no matter what. This figure that has already vanished long ago. The light turns green. The students around me start moving. In the midst of it, I am the only one who stands still, and she is the only one who notices I am here.
So Arcueid just showed up again. Yeah, this is the kind of ending I was hoping for. Assuming everything goes swimmingly. Hi Arcueid, good to see you again. Glad you're feeling better.
She has her typical smile as she crosses the intersection. I can't speak. I'm so overwhelmed with emotion I don't even know what to do. Even if this is just some sort of bad illusion, I'm so happy just to see her again I could cry.
Hello. Are you heading to school, student son?
I can't believe it. The illusion even has her voice down perfectly.
Shiki. Hey, why are you so quiet? Don't tell me you forgot about me.
Those red eyes looking up at me. There's no way I could forget. But at the same time, there's no way she can be here, alive. I can't speak. She wrinkles her eyebrows together and glares at me like an angry cat.
Jeez, what gives? I put up with not going to see you and was waiting here so long. Don't tell me you're angry, Shiki.
I just can't believe it. This isn't an illusion in front of me. It really is. Arcueid?
Yes, it's me. Thank goodness. I thought you became a vegetable after fighting Roa. I really was worried, you know?
Wait a minute. I'm so confused. What do I say? What should I be happy about? Is there something I need to do? I really am just so overwhelmed I don't know.
Shiki? Hey, you're acting funny. Your mouth is wide open and so are your eyes. Well, it's kind of interesting for me, so I'll keep watching.
Arcueid.
That's what I mean. Jeez, you keep just saying my name. We finally managed to meet again, so can't you find anything more fitting to say?
Yeah, there's no mistake. There's only one person who could say such ridiculous things. Why?
I can't hear you. Please say it a little louder.
She tells me,
Come on.
as she points her ear closer to me. Why are you still alive? I scream and voice my feelings as loud as I can.
Ow! Not so loud, Shiki.
You don't say not so loud. Why are you alive? I thought you were gone, that I would never see you, that I would always regret it. But why? This cheerfully, as if we only said goodbye yesterday. How could she greet me so simply?
Oh, I see. I never did tell you, Shiki.
Arcueid drops a fist to her other hand in realization.
Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. He stole some of my power. In order to take it back, I pursued him. But you completely destroyed him, right? and the power that was freed from Roa returned to me, and I managed to come back to life.
You never told me about that.
No, I didn't. It didn't really concern you.
Why did...
Anyway, I revived, but I could barely resist the vampiric impulse inside of me. I probably would have done something terrible if I went to see you, so I slept until I regained my power. You could have done this in the other ending too. Some of these choices, I swear. Either way, I'm glad you're here, Arcueid. Because of that, I was able to return to normal, but it took 7 days to suppress my impulse.
Then you're really okay now, Arcueid?
Of course. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here.
She flashes me a full smile. Arcueid takes my hand.
You know, Shiki, while I was asleep, I was really looking forward to meeting again like this. Because once I did, we could go around and do so many things. I was thinking it would be so nice to get better, even just a little quicker.
Arcueid looks at me with a pure, unadulterated smile. I'm speechless. Not in a bad way, I'm just so happy. Being able to see her smile again, all the things we can do from now on. How I told Senpai that my wish was never to leave Arcueid alone again. Not one of them was lost. There's so many things I want to say and tell her right now. But right now, I'll just speak honestly from the heart. Welcome back. I've been waiting for a long time. I squeeze her hand in return and briefly tell her just that. She looks a little bewildered at first.
Yeah.
Saying that, she looks away in embarrassment. Arcueid? I call out to her. After a brief pause, she faces me with a full smile.
Yes, I'm back. I'm glad you were still yourself, Shiki.
My chest tightens. If this wasn't right on the way to school, I would embrace and kiss her. Her smile is just so adorable.
Alright, let's go, Shiki. You're going to take me to many places, right?
Arcueid releases my hand and jumps like a rabbit. She's so radiant I can barely look at her directly. But, where?
Anywhere. Somewhere you think is fun, Shiki.
Smiling, Arcueid replies like it's nothing. But that's a little troubling. I do have school.
Hey, can't you at least spend a day with me today?
Arcueid looks dissatisfied. Evidently I'm extremely weak against that face of hers. Well, even if I went to school like this, I wouldn't be able to concentrate there, and more than anything else, I want to be with Arcueid. You're right. Who cares about boring reputation? Okay, Arcueid. I will indulge your selfishness for the day, my princess.
Yay!
She suddenly presses her body up against mine.
Oh! CG. So pretty! Hey, Shiki. That night, what you were talking about with Shiel, your feelings haven't changed?
She looks up imploringly at me as she asks, "My feelings that night? What do you mean?"
About you saying you loved me.
I start to sputter. It's too embarrassing for her to ask me this question when she's this close to me. Oh, I forgot. You shouldn't eavesdrop, Arcueid.
I can't help it if I overheard. Anyway, come on, answer me. Your words that night, they haven't changed?
Idiot. I don't even need to say that. Yeah, they haven't changed. I can't make any guarantees, but they'll probably never change. I'm so embarrassed I look up at the sky and answer. Arcueid wraps her arms around mine.
Oh. Then you should prepare yourself, Shiki.
Prepare? Prepare for what? I can't help but let a tinge of uneasiness creep in my voice. She holds onto my arms and speaks with a smile.
Because you promised to be with me forever. Didn't I say so when we first met? I'll have you take responsibility for me.
Then she starts to walk, still holding onto my arm. She's as energetic as a little child, urging me to hurry up and get to a playground. Oh, I see. Certainly, I would have to prepare. Speaking to no one in particular, I start to walk with her. I head towards some random place, going against the flow of students going to school. Where to? Well, there's no place we can't go. The sunlight really suits the princess of the moon accompanying me. The weather is a perfect blue sky. Hand in hand, we walk towards a new beginning for the two of us. The end.
Yeah. That felt a little more complete. I liked that. Also, probably missed a lot of other little scenes along the way because every choice made has a different scene, has a different scenario that plays out. Just a slightly different flavor, I guess, that can affect other scenes later on. I couldn't ask for a better ending for them, though. Although, that does make it sound a lot more like it was literally Arcueid's kind of sort of choice that she decided to use as either an excuse to stay with Shiki or not. The true end may be the tragic end, but this is the good ending. The best ending. As much as they are two people, Shiki and Arcueid, not that great at communicating and expressing themselves, but at the very least in this ending, they both just went for what they wanted. And what they wanted was to be together. And no matter how that may work out in the future for them, in this moment that's really, really nice for them. Just beautiful. Anyway, that was Tsukihime Arcueid's route. The good end. The best end. You have reached Arcueid's good ending. Well done. So yeah, wow, that took me a long time, but you know, it was worth it. This was really good. I think it's a little shorter than Fate's Stay, but it did everything it needed to do. It brought up its ideas, it did enough for the characters to kind of get a feel for who they were, and it got me interested. This is good. I might revisit the other routes at some point, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I think it was good to revisit the original too. I think the remake, the Blue Moon edition, it just has Shields and Arcueid's roots on it, I think, at the moment. One of the things about it was supposedly not a lot of the story has changed. Then there are some that say quite a bit of the story has changed, so I don't quite know. Some of the story events have changed, maybe not. Mostly I heard it was the art update and probably adding in a lot more like sound effects and things. And then the upcoming, supposed to be the release of the Red Moon version, which would have the sister Akiha as well as Hisu and Kohaku's roots on it. So that'll be interesting to look forward to as well. And I assume if you complete all routes, then you manage to answer basically all questions you would have with the lore and what went on and why certain events unfolded the way they did. Anyway, this is good. I hope it was entertaining. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye!